and welcome back to another video for the Dogs Queensland Video News channel. I'm Ashlyn Trebbin. I'm here with Shanine, who helps to run, well actually I'm not exactly sure what your official title is, but is absolutely pivotal in the training of our wonderful Conformation judges. How are you, and how would I describe your role?
I'm the chairperson of the Conformation Judges Committee.
That's one of the things I should have asked before we started rolling. So we're learning today about how our judges are trained, and I suppose for me, having not done any judges training myself, it seems like a really big task for exhibitors to go from just knowing their own breed standard to learning the standards for an entire group of dogs.
Sure.
So can you run us through the process of how they start to, our training judges start to learn all that information?
Okay. Normally the trainee, when they decide to become a judge, picks the group that they are familiar with, and we call that their primary group. Usually the group that they've been exhibiting in, or come from a family that has shown and bred dogs in that group. So that gives them a head start, because quite often they've been sitting ringside during the judging of that group, so they get a feel, if you like, for that particular group. I guess from that they then go on to showing an interest in learning more about dogs in general and judging.
I can definitely understand that, having done some commentary. My terrier commentary has been a little iffy, so I understand the groups that you know makes sense to start.
Yeah, that's usually the one they start with, yes.
Wonderful. So when we're starting to approach this, it seems like just a mammoth task to be able to, because the judges have to know each standard well enough to then make a judgment on those dogs. So how do they attack that? What's the first step?
When a trainee first comes into our training system, their first examination is what we call an entrance examination, which covers anatomy, skeletal, rules and regulations, and terms, the glossary of terms. And that's important because it helps them to decode, if you like, the breed standards. So they then go on, they do that examination, then they'll go on and start attending breed lectures in that particular group.
How long does it take a trainee judge from when they decide, right, I'm going to put my application in, to standing in a champ show awarding a best in group? How long is that process?
Probably 2 years would be the minimum. They need to pass their theory examinations, then they have to judge a required number of dogs at open shows and do more training as they're doing that, be assessed by accredited assessors, and then once they've got the numbers at their open shows, they then go on and do an examination for hands-on, which we're actually conducting today.
That's wonderful. So how many judges do we have here today ready to finish their hands-on examinations?
There's 30 trainees doing hands-on today. There's, I think, around about 5 or 6 that, if they pass, will become All Breeds Championship judges.
Oh, wow.
So that will be quite exciting for them.
Yes, very exciting. So we're thrilled to be here today. Thank you so much for your time. You've been very knowledgeable and helpful.
Okay.
We're going to have a chat to a few other people as well to find out a bit more about the process. But Shanine, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You're welcome. Thanks, Ashlyn.
Welcome back. We are still at the trainee judges hands-on examination day today at Durack. It's a beautiful, maybe a little bit too warm day today, but I am joined by Norma, who's just finished up the examinations for Group 1, the toy group, and our wonderful judges that are coming through. How's the morning been so far, and are you a puddle yet?
No, it's been great actually. It's been a very, very successful morning so far. So
Wonderful. Norma is assessing our trainee Group 1 judges today. How do you get to be a judge assessor? You're literally judging the judges. How do you get to that point?
well, basically, one, you have to be an All Breeds judge.
Yes.
Two, you actually have to attend the seminar for assessors.
Yep.
And get a pass on that assessment. And then in each group, you have to have each group for a period of at least 5 years before you can assess.
Wow, so it's a big job.
Yeah.
Are there very many assessors around, or are you super duper special?
No.
I would say Norma is very special. You can't say that about yourself, can you? Yes, I'm very special.
Oh,
no. How's the quality of our judges been today? Are we?
Today, I think our trainees are really trying hard, and a lot shows up, and the hands-on can be very helpful for them too. but most of them, they do their research. They
Yeah.
do their research, they do their homework, and I mean, you don't come unprepared.
No. So how many toy dogs, in order to get to the examination today, how many toy dogs have our trainee judges already judged at an open show level?
Well, I believe that they're saying now it's 150, and they have to actually do some critiques, which means they have to go to specialties and sit ringside and critique a certain amount of dogs with probably a coordinator or another assessor, mentor, and that's how they do it. But most of them, 9 times out of 10, have judged a lot more than 150 by the time they actually get to hands-on.
Definitely. So for our trainee judges today, do they find out on the spot if they're through, or do they have now a nervous wait to find out if they go through the champ status?
They won't be told today. Unfortunately, they will have to wait that little while longer, but it will be fairly quick, because once the results are all put together and put through the office, they'll be emailed and sent notices of it fairly quickly. It's not like it used to be. It used to take 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
It used to
So
take...
you'd be sitting at home like, oh.
Yes, but now it's very quick. Now it's very, very quick, which is great.
Wonderful. Norma, thanks so much for your time and your help, and enjoy the rest of the day.
I will. Thank you.
It is a very big day for our trainee judges today, the hands-on examination, which is the final frontier before they get the go-ahead to judge at a champ show level. I'm joined by Benita, who's one of our regional trainees, and you're very nervous today. What groups are you doing your hands-on examination for today?
Group 7 today.
Oh, one of the groups that you've got from this size to this size to look at.
Correct, yes.
So, being from a regional area, how is your journey through the judges training different from those that can come to the breed lectures every week in Brisbane?
With the distance education, you need to write a essay on each breed, so a minimum of 1,000 words. You need to talk to exhibitors at the dog shows, or if you can do kennel visits about their particular breeds, and get, I suppose, first-hand information on the finer points of the breeds.
Wonderful. When you're just an exhibitor, you haven't done any judging yet before, and you make that decision to say, all right, I've been showing for a while, I'd like to get into judging. What are the requirements to apply to be a trainee judge?
The requirements have changed over the years, but normally you have to be a member for so long with Dogs Queensland, you have to have bred so many litters, and you have to have made up so many champions.
Wonderful. So once you've made that decision, you do your application. What's the first step for a regional trainee?
Regional trainee, well, you need to sit your entrance exam, so that's an examination about the rules and also the anatomy of the dogs.
Wonderful. So now that you're on the cusp of crossing over into the champ show level for Group 7, how are you feeling? Are you nervous?
Yeah, I think you have to be nervous.
Yeah.
I think it helps.
Possibly, yeah. Benita, thank you so much for your time. It's been lovely, and I know it's hot out here in the sun, so thank you so much, and best of luck for today. We're cheering for you.
Thank you.
Well, our assessors examine our beautiful 5 whippets that our trainee judges are going to examine today. 5 there, different genders. So our assessors first go over each of the 5 dogs, and once they've critiqued them in their own minds, we'll swing around to our trainee judges who get to do the same thing. They'll also see them on the move. Hopefully we'll get a shot or 2 of that, and do all the things that a championship show judge would need to do in a ring situation. Alright. So our judges' assessors have finished examining the 5 lovely whippets, and now candidates, our judge candidates, is the correct term. So now our candidates are getting to have a little look at each of the dogs.
Okay, go.
So our judges, well, our candidates, I should say, our candidates have assessed the dogs and they're now writing up their critiques. And our whippets getting ready to move around the ring. They're going to go all together first, big round the ring, for the judges to have a look at the movement of the whippets. I should say our assessing judges and our candidates. Relax in the shade. To further assess the movement of each dog, they're doing a triangle manoeuvre to 3 stations of candidates to assess that movement, and the candidates then themselves be assessed on their assessment. I'll do this for each of the 5 dogs. Then all the candidates and judges will retire while the dogs remain on the table. And I'm not entirely sure if they're discussing or if they're just reviewing the critiques, but they retire and have a conference with the assessing judges. And then the candidates put their notes in a little envelope off to then be assessed. A very nerve-wracking time for our wonderful candidates.